Welcome to Behind the Mask. I would like to welcome you to a new series called Confessions of the Unknown. These are short stories crafted in the eyes of the assailant. Whether it be monster, man, or other, you'll find these stories here. Deep within the shadows of the towering pines, I, the ancient wendigo, prowled the wooded trail, my hunger stirring with each passing season. The echoes of her footsteps resonated through the still forest, a tantalizing melody that beckoned me closer. She was unaware, a mere mortal with her loyal companion, Baker, a creature of flesh and bone that radiated a protective aura, an aura that I intended to shatter. 3 winters passed. I observed her ascent up the hill, Baker's warning growl a mere whisper against the howling wind. Cloaked by the dense foliage, I inched closer, my head concealed from her prying eyes. She called out a greeting, her voice laced with trepidation, but I, consumed by the ravenous hunger, could only prowl closer, drawn by the flickering flame of her life force. As she turned, my form melted into the shadows, my gaze fixated on the beckoning valley, a testament to the insatiable desire for her soul. A year later, the trail welcomed us once more, the waning sunlight casting elongated shadows that danced upon the forest floor. Baker's growl reverberated, a futile attempt to deter my approach. I lingered within the darkness, my eyes fixated on their very move, a hunger gnawing at my insides, urging me to descend upon them. They crossed the bridge, oblivious to my presence, and I trailed behind, my anticipation building with each step. When she turned, I hesitated, my desire for her essence momentarily restrained by the calculated dance of our entwined fates. I left behind the sharpened spear, a silent warning of the imminent peril that loomed over her unassuming soul. A year passed, and the trail remained a siren's call, beckoning me to quench the eternal hunger. In the heart of the snowstorm I wove an enchantment, molding the snow into twisted visages that reflected the darkness within my own tormented spirit. The cursed faces mocked the purity of the falling snow, a testament to the darkness that encroached upon her sanctuary. Today the scent of her essence lured me once more, her fear palpable as she stumbled upon my cryptic messages etched upon the bark of a solitary tree. I see you. A shiver of excitement coursed through my veins, my hunger stoked by the trepidation that radiated from her very being. She turned back, her steps quickening, but I remained, my essence woven into the fabric of the woods, a relentless force that would not be denied. The hunt would continue, the fateful dance between predator and prey, destined to culminate in a symphony of primal desires and eternal darkness. As I closed in on my prey, a primal thrill surged through my veins, igniting an insatiable hunger that had slumbered within me for centuries. The girl's futile attempts to flee, her heartbeat thundering in my ears, only fueled the blaze of my relentless pursuit. Baker's valiant efforts to protect her were a mere nuisance, his barks a feeble protest against my ancient power. With a surge of unearthly strength, my elongated claws ensnared them both, their frantic struggles a futile resistance against my primal might. Their screams, a symphony of terror that fed the darkness within me, heightened my anticipation, the scent of their fear, a heady aroma that danced upon the frigid air. As my maw unhinged, rows of jagged teeth glinted in the moonlight, ready to consume their essence, to assimilate their very souls into the eternal darkness that coursed through my being. The girl's eyes widened in a final moment of despair, her life force pulsating beneath my grasp. Baker's valiant spirit flickered, then faded as my relentless hunger engulfed them both. Their essence merging with mine, a symphony of primal conquest that echoed through the silent woods. In the aftermath, a profound satisfaction enveloped me, a primal triumph that reverberated through the fabric of the cursed forest. I retreated into the shadows, my hunger momentarily sated, yet knowing that this would not be my last hunt. The trail, once a sanctuary of fleeting beauty, bore witness to the primal force that knew no mercy, only the relentless yearning for the essence of life itself, a hunger that would forever drive me through the eternal darkness. As I materialized on the balcony, an ethereal chill seeped into the air, blending with the tendrils of cigarette smoke that lingered from the living's indulgence. This part of town had always been a hotbed for restless spirits like myself, and my anger, an echo of the injustice I had endured, still seethed within me. A car I didn't recognize glided into the back parking lot, its headlights cutting through the darkness, illuminating the very spot where my mortal coil had once been. The living woman on the balcony, oblivious to my spectral presence, puffed on her cigarette, her guard momentarily lowered. Footsteps echoed through the void, drawing my attention to the figure trespassing through what was once my backyard. Anger surged within me as I recognized the shape of the intruder, his looming figure cutting through the night like a harbinger of distress. I recognized him as one of the perpetrators responsible for the violence that had stolen my mortal coil. His purposeful stride towards the balcony jolted memories of that fateful night, the betrayal and the pain of my final moments. His eyes met mine, but he couldn't possibly comprehend the fury that emanated from my being. A shiver ran down the woman's spine, and her panic expletive resonated with my own eternal rage. As she fled inside, frantically securing her sanctuary, I reveled in the fear that permeated the atmosphere. It was a feeble echo of the terror I had once experienced, but it was enough to nourish the fire that fueled my spectral existence. I permeated the walls, my anger mingling within the creaks and groans of the building, a haunting reminder of the justice I sought. Time ceased to hold any sway in my realm, and I reveled in the chaos I had incited. The woman's distress filled my incorporeal senses, a satisfying testament to the havoc I could wreak upon the living. She peeked out the window, her eyes scanning the now vacant yard, oblivious to my vengeful presence still lingering, seething with a desire for retribution. As the intruder retreated, I knew my work was far from finished. The taste of vengeance lingered on my immaterial tongue, a bitter reminder of the justice I yearned to serve. I made a spectral vow that we would indeed cross paths again, and when we did, my wrath would consume him, as it had consumed me. In the following nights, I haunted the confines of the apartment complex, my ethereal presence weaving through the walls, a specter fueled by a relentless thirst for retribution. The memories of my unjust demise played on an endless loop in the tapestry of my consciousness, each moment etched with the pain and betrayal that had consumed me in life. I seized every opportunity to manifest in the man's path, my spectral form a chilling reminder of the darkness he had wrought upon me. Shadows danced around him, my whispers of despair echoing in the deepest recesses of his mind, tormenting him with the weight of his past transgressions. Sleep eluded him, my haunting presence invading his dreams, twisting them into nightmares riddled with guilt and fear. I reveled in his terror, savoring the sweet taste of retribution as his sanity waned under the weight of my vengeance. In the waking world, I continued to toy with his senses, manipulating the environment around him to heighten his paranoia. Objects shifted inexplicably, doors creaked open in the dead of night, and chilling whispers taunted him from the darkness. He was a prisoner of his own guilt, haunted by the specter of his past misdeeds. His once confident demeanor crumbled, replaced by a hollow shell of a man, haunted by the ghost of his past. I relished every moment of his descent into madness, every flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, knowing that my torment was a mere taste of the suffering he had inflicted upon me. As his grip on reality slipped further, he sought solace in the bottom of a bottle, drowning his guilt in the numbing embrace of alcohol. But even in his inebriated haze, my presence remained, a constant reminder of the debt he owed to the restless spirit he had wronged. In the final throes of his torment, I materialized before him, my ghostly form a manifestation of the justice he had evaded in life. I watched as the fear consumed him, as the realization of his misdeeds settled like a heavy shroud over his soul. With a final chilling gaze, I whispered into the depths of his being, sealing his fate in the embrace of the darkness that awaited him beyond the mortal realm. His screams reverberated through the corridors, a crescendo of terror that marked the culmination of my long-awaited retribution. As his life ebbed away, I felt a sense of closure wash over me. A peace that had eluded me in life. With my vengeance exacted, I faded into the eternal abyss, my spirit finally free from the shackles of the past. A ghost no more, but a guardian of justice in the realms beyond.